good, 7th graders? Today we will be doing G1 practice with Gabe.
Hi guys. Okay, this is a true or false question. So if you take, T and S, which is 10, is that equal to X and Y, which is 10, so that would be true. R and Q have a distance of 32 from each other, and they are supposedly equal to V and W. Are they? Well, yes, they are. True. Is R, the angle, equal to V, the angle? This is V. This is R. R is 92. V is 94. V is 94, which would mean that is true. Is the angle Q equal to the angle W? Q is 31 and W is 31, which would make them all true. Okay, so the shape PORQ is equal to something. So we have to figure out what it's equal to. So if we have P, they're all right angles, but P and Q have 17, and another angle here is Y and V, which are 17 distance apart. So that means those two angles, those two are the same. So if we would flip it, we'd flip it so it's the exact same, which would be, so these are actually the opposite sides, because these, if you would flip it to the way it would be, then this would be on the top. So that means that one of these is on the wrong side. And then you would find if O and P are the same length apart in somewhere, which would mean they would be X and Y. So that means we're supposed to start with the P and go to the O. So we'd go from Y to X. So that would mean we'd go to Y, X, W, V as our answer. For this one, we just have to find out where the shape matches itself. And so if HIJ equals to something, then what does it equal to on this? And so you would take this. So you would take this and you flip it so that the short end, the 18, meets the 18 meters, and then the 21 to the 21. So that would get, this is an I, this is the J, and this is the H, making the answer and congruent angles. So, for the first question, if H, I, and J equal the same to T, U, and S, then what is U? First of all, we have to find out how these two triangles are the same, so we have to find out how this one has been flipped. So since we have the right angle as H, and if you flip this, then the right angle becomes T, the right angle point, because we have a square there. So T equals H, which means U equals I and J equals S. So then we would write in, we'd write in the numbers. Yep, and then so to solve for U, we have to figure out that this one is a right angle, so that means it's 90 degrees. And all of the angles add up to 180 degrees. And so if S equals J, then 36 plus 90 would equal 120. 126. So 126. So the last one is u. So if we take 180 minus 126, we get 54. So that means this equals 54. So now this one's a little more. This one's a little harder because they're talking about a four angle. Like, so if NQPO equals to UVWX, then what is U? So again, we have U up here. That's what we're trying to figure it out. And so we have to figure out where it connects to. At the point of this one is X, and the point of this one is O. So this one would be O, which is 43. 43, and then this one would be P, which is 101. And this one is 11. This one is 105. Now, to do this one, we have to write in all numbers. 19. So we're looking for what U is, and if we compare to this one, U would equal N would equal, and N is 105 angle. So if it gives you the number of the angle of the letter before, then you automatically would know that was the answer, because if we flip this it would line up perfectly with this one, so it would equal 105. Another four-sided one. If you take FGD, that equals to QNOP. What is QN? So this one's two angles. So it would be Q and N. So what is the length between them? But first we have to figure out how this one lines up to this one. So we see that the short end is right here, which is Q and N. So the short end equals to G and F. So we write in, and that would mean that the P would be 92, 135, 59. So now with everything drawn in, we can obviously see that 24 is Q and N. Okay. On this question, it's asking us if this square's side lengths were doubled, which of the following statements about its perimeter would be true? So the perimeter right now is 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, which is 16. So right now the perimeter is 16. If you doubled it, the perimeter would go to 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8, which would equal to 32. So we would do a before and after. So first, the new perimeter would be 2 times as the old perimeter. The old perimeter is 16. 16 times 2 is 32, so that is true. The new perimeter will be 3 times the old perimeter. That is false. The new perimeter will be 4 times the old perimeter. That is false. And the new perimeter will be half of the old perimeter. That is false, because if you doubled it, then it can't go down. If the side lengths are doubled, which of the following statements will be about the volume will be true? So right now, the volume is 8 times 8, which equals 64. 64 times 8. So you equal that, then it would be so 512 is the new this is the new one, is 512 is the new volume, so put A. And then the old one, or that's the old one, my bad. And so if you doubled all the numbers, that would be 16 times 16, which would equal to, if you take 16, no, 16, so 160. So 256 times another 16 is,
Gabe, you can use a calculator.
I'm gonna finish this one. So 4096 is what we get for the answer for the after one. So if we have, this is before and this is after, so if we double it, then we would have to take it divided by itself, which is, so it'll be 2 times the old volume. If 4096 divided by 512, that equals to 8. So this is 8 times more than that, because if you add them all together, then because you're putting 8 more onto it. So it won't be 64, it wouldn't be 2, but it would be 8. And it can't be 1/8 because it can't be lower if it got doubled. So this problem is asking us, if we doubled the side lengths of 4, how much bigger would it be than the old volume? So if the first one is 16 times 4, because the square root of 4 is 16, because if you times 4 by itself, you get 16, which is these two, so that would equal 16. But then you have to times it by this, so you would take 4 times 16, and you would get 64. So 64. So that's the before one. So if we triple them, 4 times 4, 16. So if we tripled the thing, it would be 4 plus 4 plus 4. So each of these would turn into 12. So we'd have 12 times 12. When we times 12 by 12, you get 144 times 12. You get 172.8 after. Now it's looking, so it'll be how much of these is that number? My trusty calculator says that it's not 81, it's not 3, and it's not 1/8 because it can't go lower than what it was, so it's 27. On this problem, it says that Antonio's building is a scale of 1 to 240 scale model of a real castle. His rectangular base that is 2.5 feet wide and 2 feet long. So what is the area of the base of the actual castle in square feet? So when we use a proportion, so if it's 1 to 2.5 feet, then we have to do 2.5 times 240, is that, and that's divided by 1. So the real base is right now is 600 the wide way. So to get rid of this and do the problem over again, for the second number, we get 480. So if we take 480, and then to get the area of the base, which means you would multiply those together, which means you would get 288,000 square feet. Okay, Alexander is drawing a map of the Federal Triangle in Washington, D.C. The actual Federal Triangle has a base of 3,000 feet and a height of 1,200 feet. Alexander needs his drawing to fit on his piece of paper, so he decides to make the base of his triangle 10 inches. What scale is Alexander using? So, if the real triangle has the base of 3,000 and a height of 1,000, 1,002 feet, Alexander needs his drawing to fit on a piece of paper, so he decides to make the base of his triangle 10 inches. So, if he uses so by a ratio, if we took 3,000 divided by 10, we get the ratio of inch to feet. So if you take 3,000 divided by 10, you get 300. So that's the ratio of the model from feet to real feet. So because if that model is like this, 3,000 over 10 and then we're having a proportion, and we're taking 1,000 for the height, and we're trying to figure out what goes here because we don't know how high he made his triangle. So for you take 10 times 120 or 1,200, you get 12,000. But if you and then you divide that by 3,000, you get 4. So the height of his triangle is 4. Well, I'm at the constructing scale drawings link, the last link for the G1 standard, and to start off, it's asking us, the question is, Natalie just invited 100 guests to a party in her small house. The base of her house is a rectangle with dimensions 8 by 16. So a good thing she didn't invite the fire marshals to the party. Move the points to create an outline of Natalie's house in the grid below. Okay, so first, oh, I see. Okay, so first we have to line it up to see how much 4 meters is. So the first one was 8 by 8 by 16. So the first dimension we're going to create is an 8. So three cubes make a 8. So if we have 6, then we have 8. So because 6 of these squares equals to 8 millimeters. Now we have to do 16. So that means we have to do double the amount of the top one. So that means we have to bring it all the way to 12. This is way harder than it looks. Okay, so now we know, because it says it's a rectangle, or it should be a rectangle since the dimensions are different, and it says rectangle right there. And so the first dimension is supposed to be 4. So 4. So 1/2 of it is 4 to 4, which equals 8. So that means this 6 equals to 8 meters. And 12, which is 4 3 times, which would equal to 16. Because if we have, because we have 1, 2, 3, we have 3, 3, 3, 3, which means we have 4 4s, and 4 times 4 is 16, which is what we're supposed to have. And we have 3 and 3, which is 4 plus 4, 8, which is what we're supposed to have. So that means this is correct, because we have both of their dimensions, 16 and 8. So, next question. You've fallen into my trap, Justin shouts, laughing like the madman he is. The mouse he captured stares back at him indifferently, as it munches on a piece of cheese at the bottom of the box, whose base measures 12 by 12. So this one is going to be a square. And every three boxes is 2 centimeters. So if we have 3 boxes to 2 centimeters, then if we divide 12 by 2, then we need 6. So that means we need 6 boxes of 3, which would be 18. Yep. So that means we need an 18 by 18 square. So that's an 18 by 18 square. And we know it needs to be a square because the bottom of a box is a square. It's a 3D square. So that means we have the square right, because all side lengths are equal. And for every 3, we have 2 centimeters, and we have 18. So 18 divided by 3 is 6. So, and 6 times 2 is 12. So that's how we know we have the right answer. Tarish is a landscape architect. For his first public project, he is asked to create a small-scale drawing of a garden to be placed in the corner of a city park. The garden is a right triangle with a base of 10 meters and a height of 15 meters. Draw the garden so that 1 unit equals to 2 meters. So since we have 10, we'll start with the 10 as the base. 10 divided by 2 equals 5. So that means the base number needs to be 5. Okay, it needs to be a right triangle, so this one has to be over here. And now we need a 15 height, which would be this line. And 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. So we just move this up. We move this up one, or half, my bad. And then we get And then because we know that know that 1 unit equals to 2 meters. So this is 5 units, which equals to 10, and we got the 10. And this is 7.5 meters, which we times by 2, which equals 15, which we need. So that means we have, and it's a right triangle with a base of 10 and a height of 15. Our base is the bottom part, and the height is the part of the straight, or is the length, the straight part, which means that we have the right answer. This is Gabe coming at ya. That's all, folks. See ya.
What did you put in?
I put in.
X, W, V.
Oh. Well, that's what happens when you don't follow through. Anyway,
That's right. We'll just
that didn't happen. Hi, guys.